Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of my narcissistic abuse journey. All right, so we're going to fast forward to August of 2016. That is August is when my daughter turned 21. All right, my youngest daughter. So I asked her, I said, where do you want to go? Do you want to go wherever you want to go? I'm going to take you for your 21st birthday. So we had planned a trip to Hawaii, and it was supposed to be her and I. But it turned into her and I and the narcissist. Why? He totally manipulated his way into warning us that he needed to be there with us because, you know, 2 women in Hawaii is probably pretty unsafe. And I'm going, it's Hawaii, dude. Really? Seriously. But anyway, so I had already had the Airbnb. I already had the Jeep rented. Everything was great. So I thought, all right, well, you know what? Airfare's cheap at the time. And honestly, it was like super cheap, like $280 round trip. It was ridiculous. And it was on Allegiant, which unfortunately they don't fly there anymore from Phoenix to Hawaii. But I thought, well, you know what? All right, everything's paid for. But what I didn't think about is when we got there, I would have to pay for not only my daughter and I, but him as well, because he didn't have a job, right? So here I am in a 6-month relationship with a narcissist, and he's taking a trip with me and my 21-year-old daughter to freaking Hawaii. Shame on me. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I've since spoken to my daughter about this, and I apologize profusely. It totally should have been a trip of just her and I, but you know, he convinced us that it was so important that a man be there to protect us, right? The narcissist has to protect us. Give me a break. Her and I are both strong, independent women. We would have been just fine. So we're in Hawaii. My daughter turns 21. We're at Halawea Bay on the North Shore in Honolulu, and we stop at Halawea Joe's, and we run into David Elgas. All right. He is, what is his name? Shoot. He was, bear with me, let me find it on my phone. He's a guy that, he had a nickname, but he had a fishing show. And he was there with his wife, who unfortunately right now is going through a cancer battle. So prayers up to you, girlfriend. And we run into him at the bar. All right, our sweet bartender, Bethany, was the best. I mean, her and I are still friends on Facebook. She made my daughter's birthday amazing. But the narcissist could not fathom not being in the limelight because Mr. Elgas was getting all this attention, right? Because he's a local on the North Shore in Honolulu, and he's well known there. So my daughter and I are too busy just focusing on her and doing her birthday stuff and doing shots and all this stuff. And the narcissist, my ex, obviously, is over there just intervening with this poor man and his wife, and they're just trying to have a quiet night at Halawea Joe's. Give me a break. So it was just almost embarrassing for me to have to be part of that, because here I am trying to celebrate my daughter's birthday, but I'm also feeling this incredible embarrassment because I have this man that's with me who's invading the privacy of a man and his wife. And it was just like, he was loud, he was obnoxious. He was like, let's take pictures and put them on Facebook. Of course, let's be famous now, because you met somebody who had a fishing show on the Outdoor Channel or whatever channel it was on cable. So that was incredibly humiliating. And so we did that, and that, I don't even know why I brought that up, but it was just embarrassing. It's just part of the stuff that the narcissists do, where they want all the attention and they don't want anybody else to be in the limelight. So Mr. Elgas, I apologize to you. I know you and I are still friends on Facebook, but you know what? My ex is crazy. So anyway, so that was that. And then the next day, or a couple nights later, we went over to Turtle Bay, and we heard Hyrie, who is a reggae gal band. And my daughter met somebody and some friends and decided to go hang out. And, you know, they did the whole, smoking marijuana thing, whatever. That's cool. But she's 21. She's an adult. She can do what she wants, right? So I go back to the Airbnb, and, the ex-narcissist decides that, oh my God, I better protect your daughter. I got to go get her, and I better call her, and I got to make sure she's okay, and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting here going, my daughter is totally fine. She knows where to call. But he totally invaded that part of her life too, trying to become her daddy, so to speak. I mean, give me a break, right? She's an adult. If I had any worry about my daughter, I would have never, allowed her to be stuck in a situation that was unsafe. I mean, you know, give me a break. So he just totally just wanted to be Mr. Protector and all this stuff. So the whole time we're in Hawaii, what does he do? He puts pictures all over the place on Facebook about our trip to Hawaii, all over the place. I did too, but it was like so incessant with him that it was like, look at me, I'm in Hawaii. I have the best girlfriend. I have the best, you know, soon to be daughter-in-law, whatever. It's disgusting. It is so gross to me. And that whole trip, it was just nothing but contentious behavior with him. It was incredibly stressful. It was so embarrassing. I'm trying to have my daughter have a wonderful time experiencing Hawaii for the first time on her 21st birthday, but I'm also trying to cover up the bad behavior from this guy because I didn't want to ruin her trip. So I'm like, I feel like I'm like wearing a mask. Like, oh my gosh, I got to pretend that I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm seriously really not okay, but I'm trying to be, you know, the best mom I can and enjoy your birthday. But I'm losing my freaking mind over here because this man is making this trip horrendous when being in Hawaii, who doesn't go to Hawaii and just love Hawaii and just bask in the sun and laugh and smile? My goodness, you're in paradise. But I have to tell you, that was the most awful trip that I had with this man. And it was the first trip that we took together and it was awful. And I am so sorry to my daughter. Her and I have talked about it and she knows, and she's my biggest supporter in all of this. And I'm very grateful for you, dear. And you know that. I love you. And it's just an example of how they completely invade your space. They invade your life. They take over all of that. So we go to Hawaii, we come back, and as sad as this is to say, I was so glad to get back home because I felt like I was just like stuck in this small little tiny corner with this man for 10 days and my daughter, and I'm pretending that everything's okay, but I know that she senses the craziness as well. And we were driving down, you know, out of Waikiki up the freeway, and, you know, he starts going crazy in the car, you know, telling me to move my effing head because it was in the way of the rear view mirror, or not the rear view mirror, but the side mirror. And, you know, my daughter, we get back to the condo and she's like, Mom, that was so rude. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, she really is seeing all this. I'm super embarrassed. What do I do? So I get back and I'm like, all right, I got to get rid of this guy. Like, I can't do this anymore. I got to get rid of this guy. So over the course of 5 years, I kid you not. I mean, I kid you not. I kicked this man out of my home at least 12 times, if not more, 15 maybe more. I don't know. But I kicked this man out of my house. But you know what? He loved bombed me every freaking time, and I pulled him right back in again. So be very, very careful of what they're saying to you. All right. Don't look at what they're writing you in text messages and focus on all the sweet little kind gestures and messages about you're the most incredible person on the planet, and you know, I adore you so much, you are such a hard worker, I appreciate you. Look at their actions. Please listen to me when I tell you that. Please, please, please. It is not what they say, it is what they do. And they will continue to say the appropriate things. I'm a sucker for love text messages, all right? I'm a sucker for love emails. I'm a sucker for anything kind because I just gravitate towards kindness and love. That is my inner being, right? So when somebody is showing that to me, it's just like, oh, I love it because it feels good to me. But what I didn't recognize is the fact that he wasn't backing those words up with his behavior. So when people are behaving completely opposite of what they're doing or not doing, but saying in messages and voicemails and emails and, oh my gosh, let's just put you up on Facebook and talk about how wonderful you are. I mean, that makes you feel good, right? We're human. We have emotions. But you have to back it up with the actual actions that they're doing. And if they don't back it up with good actions, that is a huge red flag. Please trust me when I tell you this. Oh my gosh, that is the biggest thing I can share with you all. Please don't disregard that. Love bombing, gaslighting, abuse, cycle continues. Love bombing, gaslighting, abusing, feeling sorry, apologizing. It will never happen again. Well, you know what? It will never happen again at that moment, right? But it will happen again in the future, in the very near future. So for 5 years, I made every excuse under the sun as to why this man was not a bad person. I hinged on this tiny little 5% of the good behavior he showed me and the 95% bad that he showed me. All right. So I focused on this tiny little 5% and I said, oh gosh, but he's such a good person down deep. He's hurt. He's been abused. He's got this issue. He's got that issue. But the person that he's really good right here. This part is so good. Oh my gosh. Seriously, Janice, what were you thinking? It is not that you focus on, but I think that's because that's just a person that I am, that I always gravitate towards that kindness and loving person, that I just was fixated on that. But what I ignored was this other crazy shit that was going on. And that is where the problem was, because that is what fueled the relationship. And that is what propelled it into the direction that it continued to go. So I just want you to recognize that you've got to really pay attention. If somebody says something, they better be doing what they're saying they're doing, all right? The narcissist felt powerful and controlling by saying the most amazing things to me in text messages. I can't tell you the amazing things he said. Oh gosh, there were so many amazing things he said, but I can tell you this, they were not honest and they were not truthful and they were not from the heart, because narcissists do not have a heart. They don't give two craps about what you feel. They don't care what you think. All right. So keep that in mind. People that really are genuine are going to do and say the things that their actions will follow always. All right. Do we have bad days? Absolutely. Do we snap? Do we get a little pissy? Do we say some things that we probably shouldn't do it or say at times? Absolutely. We are human beings. But you know what? It's the person that says, you know what? I was wrong. I snapped. I should not have. And I apologize. A narcissist will never do that. You will never, ever hear a narcissist apologize. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. So my next episode, oh gosh, here we go. This is going to be fun. This is when I decided to say I do. And we argued right before going into the courtroom to get married. That's going to be a fun one for you. Stick with me. Thanks, guys. Much peace.